This is Mountain Psych.
Mountain Psych.
Mountain Psych.
Mountain
Psych.
Psych.
Mountain Psych.
Mountain Psych.
man. Mountain Psych. Hey, it's Mountain Psych.
Mountain Psych.
Mountain Psych. Conversations
Conversations.
from the mountains. Cool. All right. Fuck. Scott Wilkins, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, man.
It was
Thank you.
a good day. We just got done riding and all kinds of stuff. Scott Wilkins, you're known for skiing, fucking getting out there, fucking doing extreme shit.
Heck yeah.
Skiing during the summertime.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta love that little summer skiing.
Yeah, that's
keep
nuts.
It rolling.
No, I've always heard about your spring skiing adventures, but nothing like this. Like you're literally were out. You weren't out yesterday, but you were out last week.
No, I was planning on yesterday. Kind of had a little mishap. Couldn't quite get to the line, but gonna go back out tomorrow and try it again.
Right? Oh man, well, I'll have to like edit in some of your Instagram photos. Those are some pretty epic shots. Like,
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's fun.
that is one of the coolest. That's literally the coolest stuff that I think anyone up here, if you do extreme sports, to go that far to still ski this time of year is pretty insane.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a while. It's like 10, 11 years now, so
Right.
I gotta keep it rolling.
You're saying you usually count months of it consecutive skiing, and you're like this whole year you're going straight through.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's no way you're not going to go straight through. Like there's still lines up there, unless August just turns into a shit show on heat.
Even then, no, I mean, last year tested my patience with it, but September was a little rough, but still got it done. So there's always lines out there to ski.
Nice. That is awesome, man. I would fucking super surprised that every time I hear about that, I'm just like, what is going on, man? I can't believe you're still out there. But yeah, pleasure riding with you always. Like,
Yeah, it's a great
you know
time.
me, I didn't trade my skis in completely, but I need to do backcountry or something. Like I need to step it up on my skiing just to make it, to reinvigorate it.
Yeah, that's my thing. I've gotten more and more backcountry, less and less lift served. It's just so much nicer to
Right.
be back there, away from everybody.
And that was my trade-off for biking. Like biking was a big thing for me. It was always for, like, it opened up mountains again to me, like an entirely different pathway, but reinvigorated my love for up here. And like, I don't think a lot of people get that continuous, and then they get lost in it and get lost in the mountains in a different way, or in a bad way, I would say.
Yeah, it's tough to keep things rolling.
Right.
You gotta keep pushing yourself and find new things.
Yeah, especially up here, like, or you're just gonna get sucked into the bottle. Except for when you've successfully done something
Yes,
awesome, and then you're
Cheers.
like, the bottle is a great place to be.
Nothing like an after ride beer.
Right? No, yeah, we were just talking about this with a friend. I just had a friend of mine on. He was an ex-alcoholic, and I'll let you know when that podcast is up and this one. But, just having that, nothing else going on, like I can see how quickly it could just be like, oh, we went for a couple runs and let's have a couple beers. And then all of a sudden you're inside 90% of the day and not outside doing anything.
Yeah, some of my friends get there, they're into their shots, and they just go take a
Like
run.
right
have
away,
shots,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, that freaks me out, man. It's like, how are you even skiing?
Yeah.
Like I know my friend, like a few friends who are just like full on already drunk starting the day. I'm just like, what's the point?
No thanks.
Yeah, I want to be sober. I want to know this experience wasn't like me fucking up because I was drunk.
I want to enjoy it.
Yeah, and that too. I want to remember it. Like I don't want to be by the end of the day and like, yeah, who's taking me home? Like who's gonna help me out here, man? Like
No.
that's a scary, scary thing. Like, because who's in charge at that point?
Yeah.
Obviously not you. You just took a shot.
Yeah.
So I am driving us home, and I'll stay sober. But yeah, the entire idea that the ski hill is a beach, like it's
No.
not a beach, man.
Doesn't appeal.
Like it is a intense activity that needs all your focus. You need to be here 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Fractions of a
you're
second.
gonna get hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you don't need hesitation. Like hesitation is exactly how you get hurt.
I have enough close calls as it is. I don't
Right?
need to get that extra little second away.
No, that's my favorite thing about skiing, though. It's like and biking for that. It's like getting into that moment and just having this clear idea of what's going to happen next. Like when that shit goes wrong, it's not too bad skiing. When it goes wrong biking, it's like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah,
This is gonna
it's
hurt.
over.
It's just gonna hurt really bad. I'm gonna be skipping across dirt, skipping across snow at least. As long as you don't hit a tree, like I can handle.
Yeah.
I just got to find my shit afterwards.
But they're so similar. It's just so much fun to like look at your line and see where you're
Yeah,
going.
that's
and
the
kinda
beauty.
Pick what's happening.
I don't know, it's the same thing. It's like and then the hip shift is there too with skiing and riding. Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't really think about it, but like when you're doing your turns, you're just like tilting your body almost in that exact same posture. And it's like, I couldn't believe I grew up without this in my life. And I'm so happy I
crazy.
found it. And I'm so glad I didn't burn out on it or something like that for like doing it too young, because like I said, I just spent tons of money on some brand new fucking carbon wheels. I'm just like stoked.
It's an
like,
awesome feeling.
Oh man, that's the one thing about our hobbies, just any hobby, honestly. Like, dude, you have to get into something, but you gotta have the money to get into it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and if you're gonna get into something really easy, just buy some running shoes. Don't fucking slack off on that either.
Yeah.
Don't wear shitty fucking gear to go work out. Like, you're not gonna want to go work out.
Nah, you got to buy the right stuff. And the coolest thing about all these sports is once you get the equipment, it's cheap. Yeah, you don't have to pay for anything after that.
Right? Just get gas.
Oh yeah.
Get gas, get up there, you're good to go. Oh man, no, that is the best thing about it.
It's a good time.
You just gotta place yourself, right?
Oh yeah, I got lucky enough that my dad was into all this stuff. Got me skiing when I was 2. Got me biking when I was 5. Just kept going with that. Got me into the outdoors. You know, always camping, always hiking. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, I'm considering my next like feat or whatever I want to do. I'm considering hunting.
It's fun. I do a little bit of that too. It's cool to be in the outdoors. I still don't know if I could pull the trigger. You know, I haven't gotten to that point yet. Chasing them down's fun, but haven't gotten close enough to pull it. So.
Right. And I think a lot of people is like you go a long time without having it. Mm-hmm. That's what I hear. And like I would like, if I want to get into it, I would start with a gun, rifle, and then switch to bow. That's what it sounds like the most
probably the smarter way.
fun.
Yeah, I started with bow. Haven't really gotten into the rifle hunting yet, and it's cool because with the bow, you're out there before everybody else has their guns. They're out there before the ATVs. It's a little more quiet, a little more stalking, but it's tough. It's real tough.
Oh yeah. That is, and then you're gonna take that one shot and you're gonna miss.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, oh man, I had the shot and then I fucked up.
And it's done.
It was like, this is gonna bother me. Will you hit that just to my center? Perfect. God, that having
Just a
known
little
that,
off center.
yeah, just having known that, I'm just like, this is gonna kill me. And we just lost a little feed too.
Uh-oh.
What is going on here?
It's still recording. No. I was going to say it's still recording, but you can't see it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna not run. I've had this problem before with this, is running the Wi-Fi connection. It deciding to disconnect randomly.
I've had that a few times with my skiing. I'll try to run it through the phone.
I'm not. Like, I really like knowing what's going on over here, though. Mm-hmm. But I guess not. I guess I'll just run it on its heads up only. But as funny as I bought that, I was like, I'm gonna fucking use this all the time. I bike all the time. It's gonna be sweet. I'm gonna have sweet videos. Not once.
Yeah, that's my thing. I keep bringing it, and
Actually,
I forget.
once.
Yeah.
And then it was such a jarring, crappy video. I was like, nope. Like, and then I'm like, I kind of refuse to wear the chest piece.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that.
No,
I don't.
it's weird.
I don't want that part of my life. Or the Teletubby thing.
Oh man, the Teletubby thing kills me.
I saw some people sneaking underneath their hood or the top of their helmet.
Yeah.
Like, and they just put the
put it in
visor
the
up
rim.
just enough that it can fit. That doesn't look too bad, and that's the only place you want to mount. Like, head is the best because your head is like the natural stabilizer.
Oh yeah.
Like, everything else is with the bike, so it just is bouncing with the bike, but your head's going to naturally stabilize that camera.
Yeah, I've had a decent luck. I threw one onto my rear triangle once and kind of looked at the tire coming back with everything.
Oh,
open.
yeah, that's cool.
That was kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some, John Miller?
Yeah.
He is, all right, I hate, like, social media I'm not really good at, and I'm not really, like, do epic things on it. He is the most epic and funny, like, social media is just him, like, biking and doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
And, like, but, like, he has some cool camera angles too, like
Nice.
people following him, and it's just like that back wheel just fucking kicking up dirt, and you have
that's
bike
cool.
riders right behind him. Like, that's cool.
That's a cool shot.
Like, I do want to get into that more, and yeah, we're good there. But at the same time, it's like, I just want to ride. I don't want to think about these things.
It's too
I
much
want
quick
someone.
and easy.
Yeah, I want someone else to think about these things. I'm just like epically trying to meet the right person that, like, I have one guy who has like 2 camera mounts. I'm like, all right, we need to ride together more, but he's a 9 to 5er. Only could ride after work. And then, like, honestly, the season for after work riding is getting shorter by the minute.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we are coming into night riding if we're going to do that. And I told him, it's like, if you guys want to keep riding, you guys need to all invest in lights.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you know, I can't ride weekends. But
no, weekends is impossible.
yeah. Like, and it sounds awful.
Yeah, so many people.
I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait to ride. I don't want to stop every switchback.
Yep. Yeah.
Like Twilight rides. Oh, we'll have to do one here soon for just Evergreen. Twilight, it's just like everyone's leaving as we're starting. And you always have this very clear, awesome line. And like, it's a rarity over at Evergreen to have that. Like, during the day, I'd never get a downhill that's hindered by people coming up.
Yeah, that's crazy. You always run into so many people. I've been run off the trail so many times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just, it's a crazy popular area, and, like, it's a fun bike area, though. Like, people despise the highway idea.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. Sorry. The climbing part, I can care less about, but the downhill, it just allows you to think of it in an entirely different way.
Yeah, you can flow.
Like, you can think of your flow and, like, oh, I can hit that, or I can go right and go high, or whatever. Like, you can just play with that line. When it's thick like that, you're just like, oh, well, look at this new thing.
Yeah.
Like, and every time it gets wider, I'm like, oh, look at that.
Makes it feel more like a ski run for me, you know? You
Right?
Get to choose where you want to go.
Yeah, your S, when you're doing S turns like that,
Yeah.
fuck.
Oh, it's so much fun. Such a good feeling.
It's snaking in and out of turns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done down pretty narrow single track, or like, you know, only this line available single track, and you're like, it's still fun, but the best places are all big.
Yeah.
Like, they all have big, wide lines.
Yeah, just so much more playful.
Yeah.
So much more into it.
But I can't think of that many. Like, what we did today, it bent in and out of that really quick, and, like, it was really nice up there. And so just to inform everyone that you're listening, we did Breckenridge, and I should have, like, the trail map or something in front of me so I can tell some, like, trail names. But, yeah, about 14, 15-mile trail up on Breckenridge. What was it, Carter Park?
Yeah, I think
Carter Park.
Yeah.
Carter Park is the best place to park your car to ride bikes in Breckenridge. Breckenridge and Summit have some of the biggest, most extensive trails that I have ever seen this close to home. Like, and, you know, during this time of season, I spend most of my time up there because you can go up there again. Like, we can go up there next week. We can do an entirely different round. Yep. Like, you wouldn't even have to come down the same way. You wouldn't have to you might have to climb one of them to get there, but you can do something completely different.
Yeah,
and,
play
like,
around. I couldn't believe so many forks. It was just insane how many trails.
I felt kind of bad about that because I'm just like, and I don't know where I am now. I'm like,
it's all good.
Like, let me just pop this up. I haven't been here a while.
That's why we got maps. It works.
Right? Oh, yeah, that's the best part. Could you imagine back in the day and you did that? It's like, and then you're all of a sudden back down. You're like, damn it.
I would have ended up in Keystone or something before I knew it.
We would have been down in fucking someone's house before we knew it if we could have kept on without looking at the map.
Yeah.
Like, okay, and we're done. Looks like we're done. We're like, we're not climbing that. We agree not to climb that, right?
Yes, we're over it.
But I love that. They do so much side work up there, and it's just like a sneaky flow track is just put into every little turn. Like, and so much love. Like, there's a little berm, there's a little jump, there's a little bit of, you can see how much work they did. And the fact that it's not trail or gondola, anything approved or like you can get to.
Yeah.
Like, even we ran into a few bikers, barely had to stop, 2 hikers, been at 12 miles, never on a downhill either.
No.
We didn't get caught once on a downhill.
Never had to stop the flow.
And that town was jamming.
Yes.
There was a fuckload of people in there, and not a single person where we were. And, like, that's the same thing with Fraser. Like,
there's nothing there.
Love that you can just sneak away from all of that.
Get away. Did you see that line on the gondola? All the bikers?
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think that they were doing that.
Yeah.
I heard about that they were letting them up there. Did they build a downhill track?
I don't know if they built any tracks up there. My buddy was just up there the other day and showed some pictures, but it was mainly just on the chairlifts. I didn't even realize you could ride the chairs up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
I knew about that. I knew there is some regular downhill, but there's nothing nothing great.
Yeah. They haven't built it up like Keystone or Winter Park or anything.
I don't know. I don't know if I like Keystone. I'm gonna tell you this. Like you say, there's stuff above your pay grade. Keystone is right about my pay grade. On like, I can do it, but I'm not entirely like satisfied afterwards. That makes sense. Like I'm just got fucked up. Like it just kind of beats you up while you're doing it, and it's
I've
like
heard
it's
that.
a lot of work. It's
Yeah.
and like, I don't mind doing a lot of work, but doing a lot of work 5 times,
Yeah, it's tough.
it's fucking like your hands hurt afterwards. You're like, oh, what the fuck.
Heard it's big rock gardens.
Yeah,
Drops. It's pretty nuts
like
over there.
yeah, you want to sink in. Like I want flowy. Like, and I was telling you earlier about trestle. I'm like, I want more flowy. Like eating dirt after a jump is the worst.
No, it's terrible.
Like I'd rather eat dirt on a fucking rock garden. I'd rather fall on a rock garden than fucking on a jump.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I love my rock gardens. They're fun. They're
Yeah.
techy. You can slow down a little bit. Jumps. I can't quite figure out jumps on a bike. I get a little tweaked.
Yeah, I can handle the small ones, and I know I can handle the big ones. I just can't handle too much of the big ones.
Yeah.
I can't be all the time. I can't only do jumps, or all of a sudden I'm like flying in the air. I'm like, and I don't know what's gonna happen next, and we're going down.
Yeah.
I get a little loose in the air, and like I don't know how people just focus like that.
Yeah,
Because I can focus in on a trail, like a really good flowy trail, like no quarter in trestle. Like that's a
That's a
good
good one.
drop, and everything flows really nice together. Ooh, that's loud. Like it's really different. Like
Yeah.
it's like one of the best trails I think up there, because it just has that good amount of flow with not a lot of like, I got to do a 30-foot jump to land in the landing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
you
a 6-foot jump and like a 5-foot jump, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah,
It just keeps you on your toes.
right. But that's the best thing about, like, I think about biking is just like that flow, and skiing is like finding that one moment in time where you just, there's nothing else you can possibly think about.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
you cannot think about your bank account. You can't think about, any of your problems when you're doing this kind of sport.
Oh, man. Yeah. These backcountry sports are just incredible.
Right.
You just forget about the world and you're just in the moment.
Right.
Yeah. Whether you're in the air, in the powder, and the dirt, it's just like, oh my God.
That's the biggest reason I wanted to do this. Honestly, a lot of people don't know, but like, it took me a lot of time to figure out how to kind of stay in the moment. When I wasn't skiing and biking, I was never in the moment. All I was ever thinking about was like, God, I need to get out of work. I need to do this to get this done so I can go do this. Or I'd fucking worry about shit that I wasn't even control about, like a week in advance. Like, fuck, this person asked for Thursday off. Next week's going to suck. Oh, I need to go biking. And I'm like, and I just showed up to work and I was like already ready to go. I was like, dude, I need to get out of here. My brother called me out on it 2 or 3 times in the last 3 years. It's like you're not even here. It's like, in retrospect, I wasn't. Like, I was not well about being in the moment in my regular life. Like, that's why I wanted to do this podcast, because then I want to talk to people like you and people who are like-minded with me. It's like that moment in time, I feel like I've figured it out how to live that way. But it gave me access to how I wanted to live.
Yeah.
Like I was always like, how is it so much easier? Like, why is everything so much easier when I'm at the gym, zoned down on a bicycle, or working out, or skiing, or biking? And you're just like, why is that moment not possible? And I was like, and I just stumbled upon it. Like, if you look on my mountain psych Instagram, it's like the third thing. It's like flow triggers.
Okay.
Intense sports is or like putting yourself in danger is one of those things that are like flow trigger. And I'm like, that's where I live.
Yep.
That's where I want to live. And I'm like, and then there's like a plethora of other things that you can look up. I was gonna bring it up, but I locked myself out of my phone. I have to. I don't have to, but like, you ever find yourself in public places and you just like already opened up your one app that you shouldn't have?
Yeah. Way too often.
You're just like, and then you're sucked in.
Yeah. You just keep going.
Yeah. So I downloaded this app, and someone called it like a granny app or a mom app, and
Keeps you away from it.
no, 2 launches. I get 2 Instagram launches a day. And
Brilliant.
usually, and generally, I waste the first launch. And then once I'm in the second launch, it has to launch itself twice just to do a post. So I can't even finish
You
the
can't
post.
even get it done. Yeah, it's a smart way to do it, though. I like.
But no,
that.
and then I'm
Yeah.
out. And
Yeah.
like the rest of the day, I'm out. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I never pick up the phone about it again. Facebook, I should just switch that to that so I can have it.
Mm-hmm.
But all I did is I deleted the app. So now I have to launch my web browser to jump to my...
That extra step to get
Yeah,
into it.
and then like even less likely to open my phone. Like my phone stays like this when I'm out in public now.
Yeah.
Like face down, fucking, I don't even look at it. I'm just like, unless it buzzes, and it's on silent all the time now. Can't imagine how much anxiety this thing has given me over the years.
Oh, I can imagine.
It's like, oh, and it's like, it's blinking.
Yeah. It's like, who's calling? What's going on?
There's a LED light on it that wants me to touch you. You bitch. Oh, it's doing it now.
Yeah.
Face down it goes.
Yeah, I keep mine in my pocket as much as possible. Unfortunately, it's my camera too. I stopped carrying my big camera with me, so I'm always pulling the stupid thing out. But,
Well, that's fair. Like if you're trying to do something that's like you're doing something like I said before, I love posting shit about like shit that you don't do.
yep.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like I want you, but like it's not to be demeaning to you. It's like you should get out there too.
Yeah,
Like
get
I
out there and
really
have fun.
want you to think, oh, I can do that as well. It's like then go.
Yeah.
Like I'm all about encouragement. Like go to the gym, get on a bike, go skiing, do it for yourself, and do the same thing.
No, that's my thing.
Like-
My Instagram, all that stuff. It's more about trying to convince other people to get out and do
Right.
what I'm doing. It's.
And I
people
like to
think I'm
sneak
showing
in.
off,
I like to
but-
sneak in bikini butt shots too. every once in a while. Like, check this out. If you work really hard, you
can get
could
this.
have this clench.
Nobody wants to see this.
No, it's great though. It's one of the I think is a primary reason to use the app. Like everybody else, it worries me. Like we were talking earlier, it's like that selfie thing. Like it worries me that people are so worried that someone doesn't know what they're doing. It's like, is that what you should be worried about? Feels like you should be worried about how many people do know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like that freaks me out.
It's a little
Like,
weird. Like,
day to day life, I don't need to be followed.
I don't need to have that satisfaction of the likes, and like who's paying attention to what I'm doing, where.
It does feel nice though.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
No.
I do have the weird dopamine fix like this, and just having the little bell thing,
Yeah.
like that's enough. Sometimes I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I feel a little better.
Yeah. Somebody saw it.
90% of the time though, my Facebook is like, these 4 shows just got added. I'm like, yes,
This person's interested in this.
right? Oh, I turned off all those notifications.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that. I'll have to look into that.
I turned off most notifications. Like, you know those little bubbles that hop on your phone? You can turn those off.
I need to look into that.
Those are the best.
Yeah.
Not having those bubbles that
Yeah.
trigger you to open apps
Oh my god.
is the best thing that you can turn off. Like, you shouldn't have to do this. Like, I shouldn't be triggered every time I open my phone,
Is this work or what is?
right?
Oh,
Then I
right,
forget about
no.
messages, though, so I can't say. It's like a double-edged sword. So, and then you don't answer someone for 4 hours, but at the same time, it's like, you messaged
who
me.
cares?
Yeah, who
Yeah,
fuck? If
yeah.
it was important, you should have
You
fucking called.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, you want to really have a conversation? Like, you really want to talk about something important? Like, I got this guy, he's
Give me a call.
texting me about a job, but he's texting me about a job. You should be giving me a fucking call, man.
If you're
Like,
worried about a job, call somebody.
well, I think I gave him the job, but
Yeah.
at the same time,
Still.
I'm a bit busy.
Yeah.
We just went biking all day. I'm, I got my own things. I can't fucking stop what I'm doing. I can. I don't want to.
Exactly.
Let's just be clear. I don't want to have to stop just to answer an email, which I almost did today. I was like,
really?
fuck, this can wait.
Yeah.
Like, and I almost called my brother on the mid-trail. And I was like, fuck, this could wait. Why am I even thinking about that?
That was like my car thing. That guy called me mid-ride. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this today.
Right? Like, I don't even want to think about this. Not right now. I'm so far away from it, too.
Yeah.
No, I think we often overthink the most unnecessary tool, or necessary tool. It's a really good tool.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Makes
you
our
use
lives
it,
easier.
yeah, if you use it correctly, it's a great tool. If you don't use it correctly, it's like hitting yourself in the head with a hammer.
Yeah.
Like, this is just going to make me better. I'm going to be happy. Look how beautiful I look.
I swear.
Hashtag filter on everything.
Look at how pretty I am.
Oh, that creeps me out too. Oh man, the things that alter your face.
Oh man, yeah, I was looking at some of that stuff. Make me look older, make me look like a chick. Like,
Or
what is
just like
going
the
on?
bunny ears. Like, this is
Yeah.
your thing? This is like all your photos are this.
Yeah. Oof.
Like, these aren't photos. It's just you a lot with things on your face. It's very strange. How did we even get on this topic?
I don't know. Oh, we started talking about Instagram. Yeah.
Oh, and then the utility of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the utility of it if you use it right.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, you use it right. I feel like you use it right. I dabble in using it right when I do use it. But like I said, you can do.
Yeah.
I could do months, not even fucking send a single one out and not give two shits.
Yeah.
Like, I certainly do that during the winter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my Instagram just dies.
See, I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
Winter, it just goes through the roof. I get stupid with it. Summer, it's like,
Right? These days, like, this isn't as important.
Yeah.
Like, I did something the other day and I was like, oh, I should post this. And I was like, and I already locked myself out. So now it's been 2 days. and I'm already locked out today. So it's going to be 3 days before I get to post it. And I'm like, oh, maybe I won't.
Nah, I get into the powder shots. I'll sit there all day and just take powder shots. There's nothing better than that.
Right? Are you carrying around a nice camera for that? The nice camera?
Yeah. I got.
What is
pretty
the
nice,
camera?
It's a Pentax K5.
Okay. I don't know cameras
K3,
very well. Just
something like
sounds really nice when you
Yeah,
say
it's
K.
your
and then
basic
5.
DSLR. So
Okay.
yeah. I got like more lenses than I know what to do with it. Usually takes up too much
Yeah,
room in
that's
my bag, but
pretty
it's
tricky.
fun.
Do you have one of those really nice gear bags that like section it off
No,
perfectly?
I don't for skiing. I keep trying to, but I wear an airbag when I'm skiing for avalanches, and they haven't yet figured that one out yet. So
Right. Seems like it's pretty necessary. So you can't really.
yeah, it's a little tough.
The airbag's sweet though. I know when I started seeing that was that like a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
They started selling them for reasonable,
Yeah,
or
it's
just start selling them.
Been a European thing for a long time. And
Really?
The U.S. is just now starting to get into it, and it's
What
kind of
the
coming
fuck?
in. Yeah, we're always behind Europe on all this shit. It's
It
crazy.
feels like we should be stealing that shit like early.
Yeah. No, we're just afraid to adopt it. I don't know what the deal is. There was like a liability thing, like, oh, if they've got an airbag, they think they're safe. And no, it's
What
just,
do you mean
it's just
liability? The liability you put on skis,
yeah,
man.
exactly. And
You
that's the
were
weirdest thing.
out there.
Yeah.
You were the liability. You're going to be the liability.
Too many companies worry so much about liability these days instead of actually just getting to the safety side of
Yeah.
it. Like, stop worrying about it. Let's get safe.
Well, we do sue too much, so
Yeah.
we are like
So.
you're literally liable for yourself skiing. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like lawsuits go on during skiing, and how many payouts happen still?
Dude, we sign our lives away every year for skiing, and yet everybody still sues. I don't know how the hell that works.
I don't even know what they're making. Like maybe it's just for their bills.
I
I
guess.
can't imagine them actually making any more than that.
No.
Like with the amount of lawsuits and that the fact that you basically by purchasing the ticket, you accepted the responsibility.
Except you don't. Like, that's the weirdest thing. Like, we keep getting all these lawsuits at ski areas after you've already signed your life away buying your ticket or your pass, and now somehow we still can't quite figure out that it's not the ski area's fault. Oh, you hit a tree? Well, they should have cut that tree down. Like, no, that doesn't work that way.
It's like it's borrowed land.
Yeah.
We don't just
Yeah.
get to cut things down. Like we
don't
do,
own it.
but we don't cut just, full deforestation isn't a thing. It's not our, you want to
not
be
a-
in nature.
It's not a good idea, and
Yeah.
it costs a fortune.
Oh, that reminds me of like people that go rafting. Oh my God. You fat piece of shit. Do not get on the raft. I'm sorry. Or you're old. I'm sorry. You can't, if you physically can't swim, you shouldn't be on a raft.
It's an amusement park ride. I think
Yeah.
30 inches.
Oh my God. I think there's only been one death this year though.
No, there's been a lot. It was
On our river?
No, on our river only one, but we don't usually get a
Yeah.
lot of deaths on our river. I think
Last year was
across
like 3
Colorado-
or 4.
Was it?
It was a
Oh,
lot.
damn.
It was vicious. I don't know why.
Huh.
What particularly happened.
Yeah.
But hopefully, like, this guy had like cardiac arrest or something.
It's usually what it is.
Yeah.
More often than not, it's cardiac arrest. They hit that cold water and it's done.
Yeah, shock and can't even fight for themselves.
But Yeah, there's rafters. I had one idiot when I was guiding back in the day actually ask me when this loop ended. Like they thought it was like a lazy river kind of thing. I'm just like, what?
As soon as you see a deer turn into a elk. So let me know when you notice that, and then we can go from there.
But
man.
they to each their own, right?
Yeah,
I guess they're getting outside. It's better than some people.
right. You can keep that a little bit closer. It'll sound better when the end of it. It sounds pretty good. I've actually, for the few I've actually posted, which I need to work a little bit more on this.
Yeah.
Like I said, with back injuries and sports, it's really hard to sit down at a desk. Like I work all day standing up.
Yeah.
I fucking hate sitting down for the most part. But if there's any pain to do it, I'm like, I'm definitely not sitting in this plastic seat fucking for an hour.
God, no.
But that's hopefully all behind me now. But
Yeah, it's good to see you not freaking out a little bit at the end of the ride. It's good to see you
cringing.
still, yeah. Man.
That is the worst. When I can't even be happy after post ride, I was like, I think the Buffalo Creek, I was like, at the end of that, I was like,
Oh, yeah.
and this is going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, you were done after that. That ride home was tough.
Yeah, I can't wait to get home. Like, and that's the worst. Like, that's what I was at work, too. It was just like, once it was done, I was just like, collapse on the couch. Just lay on the floor.
I hate that feeling.
Fucking getting old, man.
Tell
I'm
me
trying to
about
do it gracefully.
You're doing better than me, but you're a lot younger than me, so
Excuse me.
I keep forgetting how old I am. It's tough, a reminder of that one.
Right? What is it now?
38 now.
38.
Yeah.
Are you a year older than Eric? 2 years.
I think same age, aren't I?
Oh, he just turned 37, I thought.
Really? Huh. Yeah,
I'm
we
not sure.
graduated together, so I thought,
Oh.
something like that. Maybe he's
Oh,
lying
okay,
to you.
maybe he's 38.
Yeah, he might be lying.
He said
to
almost 40, so yeah, maybe you're close. I figure everyone lies to me about their age. I had someone guess that I was 23 the other day, and I was like,
you. Thank you.
yeah, I'm like, high five. Awesome. I somehow got younger looking. I was like, oh, that's perfect. I always thought I looked young, and then I lost a little bit of weight, and I was like, and I lost 2 years in physical look.
It's kind of what I'm wondering. I keep thinking about trying to shave. I haven't shaved my beard in probably 10 years, and I figure as soon as that goes away, I drop to 25.
Yeah. Yeah, being clean. I don't know if I could ever go back to being like full shave. I was thinking maybe once for like Halloween because it'd be like good for a costume, and I was like, I don't really want to shave though. Guess I just won't go out for Halloween. Damn it. That's a chore of being single too. It's like you're less likely to go out for Halloween if the girlfriend or someone doesn't want to get you out. You're like, I'll just stay home.
It's the opposite for me. My wife loves Halloween.
That's what I'm
She's
saying.
always like trying to get me out. I'm like, maybe I'll stay a hobbit and stay home.
I think you have to encourage that.
Yeah,
Because if you guys do ever have kids, is that out of the question?
No, we both want kids. We've been actually trying for a while.
Oh,
But, yeah.
congrats, I guess.
Well, sort of hasn't happened, but it'll happen
Right.
eventually. So, I wouldn't mind it. Kids freak me out, but I think once I have one, it'll be fun.
I think your kids are like, yeah, that's the difference maker.
Mm-hmm.
Like my family, like having the 2 nieces is fucking key.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? I'm not going to try to claim I know the next 5 years of my life. So that being said, I could see it happening. I'd prefer living my life all lavishly though.
Yeah.
Like that's a big thing.
It's a beautiful thing not having kids.
Not buying carbon wheels, that would have been not a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if I would have broke my last wheel, I would have replaced it, but I would have replaced it with something cheap.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
would have just went straight up regular wheel and left it as is. And like, okay, and I'm just going to dent this fucking thing anytime. Which I don't understand that. It's like, I'm pretty sure, I guess I ride pretty fucking hard.
Yeah.
Not as hard as some people, though.
There's always somebody that rides harder than you out there, but you're right.
I was surprised. I took that was a new wheel last year. 3rd ride in. Fucking dinged it. I was like, what the fuck?
What did I just hit?
Right? And then the first wheel set fucking lasted me a year and a half. But that year and a half was like growth.
Yeah.
It was a growth year. It was like I was learning a lot about my biking and what I could do and what I couldn't do. So
I've got a big problem with that too. I like riding real low pressures, so I have a bad habit of dinging up my rims.
Oh, you should get a Cushcore
Keep thinking about it.
or Huck Norris. I feel like that's
I don't-
another brand.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them out there now. I keep looking at them.
Huck Norris is a hilarious name. I think I'd
I
rather
love
have
that.
Huck Norris. Like that wins me over on Cushcore. Cushcore, like, it sounds nice, but Huck Norris sounds badass. Like that's a big difference.
I love it. I never even heard of that one. That's a good one.
But no, I think so. It's supposed to help with a lot of different things. It's supposed to make just like a completely smoother ride.
Yeah, you
and
still
that's
get
a big
that,
difference.
You get that little bit of flex out of the wheel that I like, but it keeps the sidewall stiff and keeps it
Right.
from damaging everything.
So I think someone tried to explain it to me is when you're hitting the ground, that repercussion is happening throughout. So you're from your arms down, but it's like, think of it as like the wheel starts it, then the shock absorbs it, and then your arms absorb it. If you can knock down one of those a little bit, it will make the rest of the ride smoother, obviously.
Makes sense.
And so you're dealing with so many repercussions of your bouncing, like, all that compression. Their claim, like their technology claim, and like, actually, I want to bring it up. I really want to hear this or see what they think.
Yeah.
But and this is why I have the TV, so we can look up cool stuff while we're sitting here.
Check it out.
But
Yeah, I keep seeing all this stuff online about it, and I just haven't gotten around to it.
well, I'm waiting for my friend to get fucking sponsored so I can get some free ones. I hate spending full price on shit.
Yeah.
Like, it makes zero sense to me that,
Yep.
like, it sounds weird, but at a certain price point of spending money, you shouldn't have to spend so much.
No.
That's my entire idea. I know I'm not a pro or whatever, but here you go. Benefits.
Well, and that's what I've dealt with in skiing too. It's just I've dealt with being able to get that pro form for so long. It's virtually impossible for me to ever spend full price on something again.
All right. So, yeah. Why? That would blow my mind. It's like, oh, these skis are so bad. It's like, what do they cost? Oh, $1,200. No.
And I blow through a pair of skis
I'm
and
good.
boots a year. So
Like, those are sweet skis, but they aren't that sweet. Like, I'm trying to massage myself into like another prorate deal for another bike company. So I'm looking at, they sell Santa Cruzes. I'm looking at the
okay.
Nomad. Oh,
Yeah.
that thing looks so awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So testing Motion Instruments, a data acquisition testing specialist, mounted now this is too much.
Yeah,
G-force sensors to test their bikes in the course of the Cushcore and without the Cushcore. So the accelerometer is mounted to the head tube that could accurately measure bump forces that they are experienced by the rider. I don't know what that fucking means, but I know what the G-force thing is.
you got the that's
So the
amount-
G-force is just the test shock. It tells you how much is coming back with you.
The accelerometer is giving you that kind of rebound, how many times you're bouncing, how much force.
So
12% reduction. That's not bad.
with that is actually pretty significant though.
Yeah, that'll make you less tired.
Yeah, or like your hands hurt less. You're like anything that makes it take off. Like I heard a big thing about carbon handlebars.
They
Just a
help.
little bit of flex, just a little less like that fucking jarringness goes away. And I switched over and like I noticed it almost. I didn't notice it. It's something that you just forget about once you go there. But like I noticed it almost immediately.
Now my old bike had the carbon handlebars, and I went to this new bike, and I've just got the aluminum on there, steel or whatever the heck they are. But it's actually a difference. I never thought I'd miss it, but I miss it.
Okay, this is some fucking crazy shit right here. Faster cornering, more traction, consistent feel, no tire roll.
How?
Okay,
How
first
do
of
you get
all,
all of those.
how low of pressure are you running to get a tire roll?
Yeah.
Because that sounds pretty intense.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds awful. I've seen the people full blowout,
Oh,
though,
yeah.
and you put that much pressure.
That
Like,
will-
you're running 20 pounds? You're running less?
Less. I mean, I run 22 to 25. I run real
Yeah, that's what I
low,
roll.
and I don't even roll. I don't get that roll. It was like this morning I was at 10. I could see that, but God, what are
Yeah.
you doing to yourself?
Well, yeah, or you're putting it such at a downward angle.
Yeah.
Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, getting into this angle real low into your bike and dropping the bike all the way to like a 45 or lower and kind of still staying above it and keeping your weight.
Yeah.
Like that's.
I don't move fast enough to get those angles.
So, but you know that angle when you ski. Like,
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what's funny is like I was skiing with Sean, and something about racing and me skiing was never something that worked out. But me on like powder and blacks and moguls, it all made sense. But cutting into edges and getting your body at that angle, I could never do.
You get upside down, it creates this crazy angle.
Yeah. And like, that's what biking, like that's the next stage in biking. Biking for me is like just trying to, like you do it sometimes without even noticing. Like you're kind of, when you're tilting your bike through those trees.
Yeah.
That's basically it, but in a really small extension. And then really dropping it on turns is like the next level of making your cornering better.
Yeah.
But I always try to describe it on biking as like pedal really fast uphill.
Yes.
Notice how the bike drops on every pedal stroke. That's where you want to be on a turn.
Yeah.
That bike should be down and away while your body is upright.
Well, the bigger angle you can get, the more grip you're going to get out of that
Yeah.
corner. You're going to fly through it. It's
So-
it's counterintuitive. You think in your head, if I go slower, I'm safer. But actually, if you go a little bit faster, as long as you can get those angles, you're in there.
Yeah. I need definitely personally need more practice with it just to speed them up. But at the same time, it's like, it's all about the enjoyment. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm considering no more stressful so I don't fucking break something. Like I already broke something. I'm 90% sure I broke my collarbone.
That's crazy.
Like at this point, and it still hurts a little. It's been 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And it was like bruised, like
Oh, yeah.
awkwardly bruised through here. And it was a little swollen after it happened.
Yeah, you probably cracked it.
Yeah, at minimum. That's what I was thinking. Like, and I first did it like I said, sneezing, laughing, anything. I was just like, oh, that hurts. Reaching for my seatbelt.
Like,
That was too much.
no.
But it's starting to go away.
All right, so yeah, I guess,
I can see how that's helpful.
little extra.
Well, like this is where if you would
Again, that's got to be
running
Like,
a low tire pressure.
that's got to be like 10 psi. Look at the amount of flex out of that.
Yeah, I wonder if you can't bring this thing up. I can't tell what this graph is.
And I can't read.
Lateral stiffness of Cush core red versus tubeless blue. The
Yeah, but what's the-
ovalized shape of the Cush core shows the Cush core creating more rebound dampening. Ooh, fancy. The science. I wonder if I
here we
can play
go.
this without. Oh, yeah, we don't have volume anyways.
That's interesting. So I guess that's two. Yeah.
No, that's with it in there.
I think that was without it in there, right?
Dynamic roll testing. So,
That must be with it in there 'cause
Yeah.
it's not moving. 300 pounds, yeah.
that's pretty impressive. 300 pounds and it's not moving that much.
Yeah.
So anybody who just checked out a video, it was a tire and they were just pressing a little actuator against it with 300 pounds of pressure. And it was barely shifting. Like,
Yeah, not at all.
and like I've heard people just say this, like they burp tires. I've never burped a tire, first of all, but I guess I ran a little more pressure than that. And maybe I don't go off things stupidly when I'm like, I don't like, oh, I'll just slide off the side of it. I'm just going to hit it straight on it.
I think I burped my tire when we rode Buff Creek that day. I heard a weird noise and suddenly my tire was a little flat. I'm pretty sure I burped it for the first time.
Yeah, it seems hard to do. Like,
Takes some pressure.
Yeah, it takes a lot of pressure. You got to be sitting down. You got to all your downward force simultaneously as that action happens. It needs to be on the rear wheel or front wheel.
Look at that. That's a flat tire going over that rock. That's intense.
Well, this actually, I don't think this is a flat tire. I think this is caught in motion.
No, it's definitely motion, but
Like, I mean, like it's caught in your motion, like full speed hitting a rock and how the air
how it
displaces.
deflects it.
Yeah. Coach core dissipates the impact energy before it reaches the suspension. Okay, that's what I was talking about. So immediately, that one less thing happening in your suspension.
Which is why I go lower tire pressure, just to try to,
right.
add that extra inch or whatever to
So
my
suspension requires less travel to absorb bumps. That's nice. A 150 millimeter travel bike feels like a 173. What?
No way.
That is
That's like 2
stupid.
inches.
I don't believe you. Like, I don't know how you're going to, like, that's a huge selling point.
That's a full inch.
Oh, yeah. You're talking, and you're talking about, that's a max travel bike right there.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're going double crown,
Yeah.
you're not getting any more out of that.
No.
Then you're going to say you can get an extra. That's nuts.
Might have to look into this.
I am sold. I'm Kushcore, you sold me. Except for unless Huck Norris has all the same stuff, and then I'm fucking going Huck Norris. I'm sorry.
Damn straight. Damn straight.
We're gonna go check out Huck Norris now. Why would you name yourself? Oh, man, that is the best name. Huck Norris. I love bike stuff. This is so cool.
Amazing.
All right.
Huck too flat.
I want more information. Huck Norris mission: eliminate fear of wheel and tire damage. Nice. We aim to put the mountain biker's mind at ease that you can concentrate on your riding and not worry about what you get a puncture on your carbon or your carbon rim might get destroyed. Oh man, you guys are the coolest. Look at how much cooler the website is. Too. Sorry.
No, they're downhill oriented for sure. Look at that.
Looks a lot more fun. Look at this. Look at their logo. It's just like a fucking fake Chuck Norris. It's so great.
Oh, weird. So it's not in the base of the tire like everything else. It cuts across the center.
All right, Chuck Norris floats inside. How is it? Oh. So they do something different.
Yeah.
This isn't entirely different. So yeah, I've seen this because I've actually saw the Huck Norris outside of its box. It's like a square.
Yeah.
Instead of the other one, it's goes into
like a half circle kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah, it goes into this point.
So this doesn't help
into
with,
the rim.
So this doesn't help with the lateral stiffness. Just helps you from crushing your rims.
Right, there you go.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, it just protects your rims. Well, it should help with lateral stiffness. If it's right here, if it's in the center like this, it should certainly help that.
Unless it rotates in there, that'd be my only thing.
Then it should. Does it make it? I don't know. Huck Norris. I don't know. Your selling point's as good as Kushcore. 27.5. Nope.
Just make it out of a camping mattress.
Okay, did you guys just make this out of camping mattress? This is great. No, not this version.
So in other words, yes, they did.
That's great.
Oh, it's awesome. I love websites like this.
Right,
if you can
that
have
makes
fun
fun.
with yourself. Yeah.
All right. How does tire width influence the correct size? No, that's not a good one. What is lifespan? That's not a good question.
Makes noise.
I'm guessing it should make less noise, right? You
I
just
would
put foam
hope
in your
so,
tire.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Kushcore has a lot more like science-based shit about it. There's very little science-based stuff with Huck Norris. Like it just tells you that you can do more damage.
Yeah. Keeps you from crushing your rims.
Yeah, exactly. Like you do less damage with them in there.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Race. Everything above plus is you can save your run by running the flat, even without destroying your wheel. Oh, that's pretty fucking crucial.
Yeah.
But we're not racing, so I don't think that's that important.
No.
Trail or running light tires. You are going for a long ride. You want to get rid of excess friction. You can make up for it with compensation by using lighter tires. For example, an enduro ride, you can use a 200-gram lighter tires with Huck Norris.
So you don't need the tubeless tires necessarily. You can just run whatever the hell tire you want.
Well, I think you're always running tubeless. You don't have to go.
No, but not those specific like the Lust tires.
Oh,
and all
yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff that are so heavy.
All right, rocks, roots, and hearts. Can I just use Huck Norris to make your dampening between? So it does the dampening thing between ground and wheel. This helps you make the rims last longer. Yeah, I'm more sold on the Kush.
Yeah.
The Kushcore. This
Sorry,
just
guys.
sounds really cool. I'm sorry, Huck Norris, but
Yeah. If I did more downhill, this sounds way to go. But
yeah,
definitely-
and racing ready. Like you're
Yeah.
not talking about. But I want an all the better ride. I don't want just
yeah,
a
just
a
downhills.
slightly better ride. What's the price point on this stuff? look at their entire inlay.
Yeah.
It goes right into the rim. So instead of just being in the center like Huck Norris, it is the entire bottom of the rim towards half of the tire.
Although
So
this looks way more difficult to install.
I've heard taking them out and
Yeah.
the post math of having Coach Core in is a fucking mess
Yeah.
because you have all that sealing all over it
Oh,
too.
yeah. It's just nasty.
I would hope that you would just never have to deal with it until you're, well, honestly, until you run some tread or run off some tread.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see here.
Shop now.
Buy now.
It's over.
Oh, shop now. All right, for just a 27, that's a wheel set. Oh, this is,
So it's $150.
wait, 76.
That's each.
Oh, replacement. That's
Yeah.
not the same.
Yeah.
That's $150 to have a smoother ride. I am not sold at 150. If someone can get me prorate, speaking to Kashkor directly
Yeah.
for this plug on their product, yeah, that's what I want. I would love to test this out and see what you. I don't know. I just want to see how good it is,
Yeah. It'd be fun to throw a test run on it.
right? Oh man, I want to at least test run it. My friend just got some 26ers for free, and I'm just like, dude, no one has 26ers.
Yeah. What the hell?
That's why they were free.
Gone.
Thanks. No, he just ran 45 minutes just talking about nothing. That's what the podcast is for. Just so I can
straight.
talk about nothing. Or talk, I don't know. I frequently and just more frequently, it's like, what it's about. It's like, it's not really about anything. It's really about when I originally thought of this was had some crazy ideas, and I always thought it was like, man, why are we always drinking, and why did we never have any proof of these ideas? Like, and then you never think about them again. And that's what brought me to the idea of doing this instead.
Makes sense.
Like, instead of like, it's just focused thought. It's like, let's just talk about something. Let's talk it all the way through, and like
just
whatever
talk.
it is,
Yeah.
yeah. And like, either we'll come up with something better, or it'll just be interesting. But
Or just random.
right,
Yeah.
what I really want to talk about is how to get into AVI classes. What are they consist of essentially, and then like cost.
Cost is expensive on it. They're usually around $500, but worth every penny. You go through actually your first AVI class you ever take, your AVI 1, is more there to scare the crap out of you and try to convince you to never go in the backcountry
It's like,
again.
let's not do this.
Yeah. But they give you the basic ideas: how to dig a pit, how to tell what snowpack's going to do, how to test the snowpack.
Oh, okay.
Just give you the basic concepts of how snow should react in the backcountry. It's usually a couple-day class. You get out there and do some classroom stuff, and then go out and dig some pits and see if you can get some reactions, and
Right.
kind of figure out what's really happening out there. As you go up into it from the AVI 2, 3, up into 4, then you really start learning the essentials. You start learning the difference in snow crystals and how it's going to affect everything, and how, when you get
I'm having a really low hit on your voice on this.
it's because I'm really quiet and have a high-pitched voice.
Maybe. Or we're having
Technical difficulties.
recording problems.
Well, hopefully I'm getting in there. But yeah, that's pretty light.
It's not
I don't even see myself registering there.
It's registering. It's just It's not as high as my voice. You should be breaking this. So I'd maybe get a
Yeah.
little closer.
Yeah, I'm about as close as I can get right there.
I wonder how that's gonna sound. Maybe
Yeah.
we should.
Maybe we should listen to a little bit and see.
All right, we're doing a pause. Pause.
Yeah,
Yeah, so apparently, like, this is one thing I've noticed with this, and like, depending on voice depth, Like Santiago, he fucking like rocks this
Floors
thing.
it
It
out,
feels like it's too fucking loud. Like it, and it sounds fine at the end of it. But we're not talking about instruments. We're talking about voices. We're not talking like percussion instruments and like maxing it out or anything like that. But yeah, that is odd that you're not that soft smoking,
I don't know. I kind of speak like a small child, so it works.
right? It's light. It's like you're constantly whispering.
I get yelled at that
It's
all
like,
the
"Why
time.
are you even talking to me?
Oh, Becky freaks out on me all the time. I can't hear you. I'm like, I'm yelling at you.
This is my angry voice. No, I can see how that could be a problem. Like, sorry.
Oops. My bad.
I wonder if that's gonna fuck up the alignment on this. Oh, you know, what I should do is another clap.
There you go.
I'll find my.
Find the clap and
I'll
realign
find my
it.
point there.
Yeah.
But
All right. So where were we?
Avi classes.
Oh yeah.
$500. They're gonna give you the basics, scare the piss out of you.
Yep.
What I was gonna say is like, dude, there's so many fucking people back there that don't have anything.
No, it's so stupid to be back there with nothing. You know, it's tough. So
Like,
many
it
people.
worries me. It's like, oh, but we're getting the best powders. Like, you are, but you're going to die.
But that's what scares me the most. Like, I'm not afraid. I mean, yes, I'm afraid of what I'm doing because we all make stupid decisions. But I'm so afraid of some jackass above me, like sliding
Causing
something
it.
down on top of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're just not paying attention.
Situational awareness. Like,
Yeah.
situational awareness in all sports is big, and especially when it could potentially hurt someone else.
Oh yeah. No, it's crazy. I mean, we had that situation back in East Vale last year, just having a good old time, and we always try to talk to people at the top and try to figure out where everybody's going to make sure we're not dropping on top of each other and making sure that we're all in different areas
Right.
and what's going on. And this guy was trying, like, I think he just thought we were going to go poach his line or something. So, like,
So he
you
bombed
guys,
it?
Well, yeah, he's like, you guys need to go over there. It's great over there. Well, where are you going? Yeah, I think I'm going to go that way. And so we dropped a different line to the other side, and it ended up being where he was going. And we kind of took a little chute down below this cliff band. And the next thing I know, there's slough coming down on us from these cliffs above us. And it turned out to be that guy dropping into that line. He found a cool line above these cliffs. And it's just like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, let us at least clear the space.
Yeah.
Like, did you not see us?
Yeah, it's like just communication. Like, that's the biggest
Right?
thing.
That's so dangerous. And everyone has like car access too.
Yeah.
You have car access to so much stuff on just Berthoud.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're driving up, dropping people off.
Mm-hmm.
People are jumping back into things they shouldn't even be in.
No. It's a
And, like,
10-minute hike, and you're right above everything. Yeah,
I've
it's
done-
crazy.
I've done the backside of Loveland. I've, unassisted, nobody there to tell us what to do, and I felt sketched out.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the last time I did it. Like, I was just like, all right, not till we have better equipment, not till we know what's going on.
No, I've been the only, knock on wood, but the only places I've actually caused slides are back there. And luckily, it was a little bit more controlled and didn't actually drag me. But
Yeah, we shot at the trees almost immediately. Second we got out, like, we were in that open space that's just right over the peak there, and felt a few moments of like, all right, this is deep, and and we're just like, fuck it, and we just cut left and just got out of there.
yeah, the trees are almost more dangerous. That's where I've actually set off more slides.
Really?
Yeah. It gets there's some weird stuff in there.
Shows you how little I know. Fuck.
Yeah, it just
That was a
kinda is
few
the
years
way it is.
ago too. I haven't touched that fucking area for years.
You think you're safe in the trees, and there's just so many spots back there that it just starts releasing. You get those steep rollovers, and it's not as steep as you think. 30 degrees is kind of 25, 30 is kind of that money zone. Once you get above about 40, things kind of self-regulate a little bit.
Yeah.
Not fully, and you got to be real careful in those zones too. But up to about 25 degrees, you're fairly safe, and you start looking at those angles, and you realize how flat that really is.
Right.
And you just don't really think about it. Got a little thunder out there.
Starting to rain. You can hear the rain through the microphones.
Oh yeah, there it is. But I've had some issues back there. One of the times I was really stupid. There's a cool little pillow line back there. Nobody wanted to go with me, so I decided to go back on my own and dropped one of them and just fell. and started tumbling down, rolled over, and dropped off about a 15-footer on the end. Somehow got my feet back under me and landed next to a tree. But then I started hearing the whumping behind me. All the pillows collapsed behind me.
Shit.
And it was just one of those, oh shit moments. Here it is. It's over.
Right?
And
I'm going to get buried by myself.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And from there, it's like, I'm not doing this by myself again.
Right.
You want partners back.
You got to get
there.
lucky. And like,
Yeah.
I've gotten lucky over the years with a lot of things.
We
like
all
not
have.
fucking breaking.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of like the sport we do and that we are good at the sports we do.
Mm-hmm.
Like being well versed in your aptitude to do something correctly. Like, you know, even if it's dangerous, at least I'm aggressive enough a skier to understand, all right, I just need to go faster.
Yeah.
Stay on your fucking skis. Don't fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Bomb this shit. And get
Yeah.
the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Like,
sometimes
get out of here
that's
now.
what it is. Yeah,
Yeah, and
there's
like-
things that tell you in the back of your head, get moving. Don't
Yeah.
stop.
Weak
Like, you gotta
skiers,
go.
like weak skier, weak snowboarder, like, dude, you're not gonna fucking last.
Yeah.
You're gonna get rolled,
Mhm.
and because you can't ski fast enough.
Yeah.
You can't snowboard. You can't make these amount of turns that you need to,
Mhm.
because you're just not strong enough to be back here.
Yeah, and it's tough. Like, if people want to go back in the backcountry with me, and I'm more than happy to take people, but I got to see your skiing skills.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to get back there and suddenly you panic.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then we're all screwed.
Why did you stop?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Don't stop.
Yeah. Like, bad spot. Bad spot.
Bad spot. That's a terrible spot. There's no good spot to stop. Just
Yeah.
fucking go.
Yeah.
That's what happened with my brother and I. We were down Beaver Creek,
Mhm.
and we were in that back chute. You know those chutes that are right above that cabin?
Yeah. Yeah, that's great skiing, but that's nasty in there.
That's what I was thinking. And
Yeah.
we were like, man, we shouldn't be back here. That's immediately what came into my brain. And I was like,
Yeah.
and I found my line and I bombed it.
Yep.
And I didn't look back.
Mhm.
I didn't stop. And like, part of me was like, I should wait for my brother. But at the same time, it's like, he should be doing this too.
Well, and it depends on where you're
Like-
at. I mean, if you can find a safe zone, that's part of the skiing too in the
Yeah.
backcountry is finding safe zones if something happens. And if you really need to stop and wait for somebody, at least you can get to that point.
Right. We were in
the-
this little crevasse.
Yeah. And that's the sketchiest place you can
Right?
be.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought. I was immediately, and I was like, I stopped at one spot right above it, and I was like, okay.
Mhm.
And I was looking at down the rest of it, and I was like, God, there's nowhere else to go.
It's full terrain trap.
And I beelined it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, screw it. I did 3 turns and
Mhm.
fucking dropped it. And I was like,
Yeah.
and I was hoping my brother did the same thing. He stopped to relish, and I was like, dude,
Mhm. You got to go.
it's like, let's go. Let's
Those
finish
are
this so we get the fuck
worst
out of
terrain
here.
traps, man.
Yeah.
It just all funnels into that spot. It gets deeper and deeper and deeper. If
Yeah.
it slides, it's over.
That's what I was thinking.
So,
Scary moment
Yeah.
for, it's like one of those. Actually, it was one of the best lines I've ever done.
Mhm.
Like, physically.
always
And
are.
then I'm just like, yeah, it's like yes, and like I felt really good afterwards. But I heard my brother. He's like, he stopped afterwards. Like, what? You stopped? Why did you stop?
it's tough.
Why would you
It's-
stop?
It's tough to find those stopping points, man.
There's
You
no
you
real
want to
good
relish or you
ones.
want to stop and take a photo or anything like that.
Oh, it's like
You
relishing
gotta-
and fucking catwalk. I'm like, look how safe this is.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
can put my feet down.
Yeah, I skied that with him a couple times. I remember going out there with him, and that was a lot of fun. It's
Scott?
actually the first. Yeah, it's the first time I've ever skied that zone was with him. It
Oh
was a lot
yeah.
of fun. Yeah,
When did you guys start skiing together? I don't even
we
remember.
haven't done it very often. This was probably 3-4 years ago or something.
Yeah, when he was
so-
just getting right back into it
Yeah.
hard,
Yeah,
and I was just got back into town.
yeah, yeah.
That was the only year we had the Epic Pass.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know if I ever want to do the Epic Pass again.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's the East Vale thing. Like, I really want it for East Vale,
Yeah.
but it's really hard to pay $800 to go ski backcountry when there's so many other options out there.
And constantly travel is to do it.
Yeah. Well, and plus, all my friends have snowmobiles. I'm looking at getting a snowmobile.
Nice.
There's so much access, and it's so
Right, for
much-
$800, I'd have Avi 1 and 2 done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Like, that's pretty important to me.
yeah. So
Way
it's
more
give and
important.
take. Although I can't say this online, East Vale is the deepest snow I've ever skied in my life.
Wait, you just said it online.
Yeah, I know.
Oh no.
I get in
I'm not muting it.
I get in trouble for that shit.
Yeah, you should. Well, that's the thing. Is like, oh man, I always think about this on biking. It's like, I would say I'm in the upper 5 percentile of bike strength, and like all around bike strength. But like once you break that barrier, it's like who fucking cares? Like,
Yeah.
you're not a good skier is not going to ruin that. I mean,
No,
sorry,
no.
a bad skier is not going to ruin that for everybody.
No,
They're not going to even be over there.
No, hopefully they're not going to be there.
Right?
You know, you get those few
Exactly.
people that get
But there's
stupid
not that
and try
many.
to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not that many that make that terrible decision.
And there's enough people that ski back there. They push them away. Like, if you can
Yeah.
sell, like, these people don't belong here, you kind of talk to them a little bit and be like, hey, what's your plans?
Oh yeah. I always see that when they're when we're on like lift 1. It's like, how did you even get this far down? What was your idea? Like, what were you thinking? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, it looked fun. It's like, you having fun?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look like it.
Even going back over chair 1, I've turned people around because they think
Right.
it comes back in bounds and they're just not paying attention. They don't
Right.
know where they're going. So yeah, you gotta keep your eyes open and make sure you're watching out for everybody else.
Yeah. I think that's very particular for every sport, every intense sport. It's like, you're not, I'm very, I try to be cautious with whoever I'm riding with. I'm like cautious of them. It's like, hey, this is coming up. This, and this is coming up.
Yeah.
And that's, to my fullest knowledge of like,
Yeah.
hey, this part's going to be really fun. Just fucking let loose.
Yeah.
Like, or this part's a rock garden,
Yeah, you gotta hang on.
or it's trigger, I can push hard through it or whatever. But for the most part, if I don't know that information, like, at least I'm going first so I can stop you from making a mistake too.
Yeah.
Like, oh, fuck.
You went the wrong way.
If you hear me say, oh, fuck, you should stop.
Yeah. Just waiting.
Oh, shit.
Like,
Right. Fuck, I almost went off the... Yeah, I've never actually almost went off a ledge, but I've certainly done some, like, blind turn jumps. Like, going into... Not knowing what I was getting myself into, and I'm just like, "Shoo."
oh yeah.
Like, okay,
Here
that
we
worked
go.
out. Oh, that worked out.
Yeah, I've found myself mid-flight a few times, or like my buddies will get cliffed out or something like that.
Always,
It's just like,
if you see tire marks, you should probably stay at the pace you're at.
yeah,
You should not slow down because
Yeah.
you're probably going to make it worse. Like, most things are designed
yeah,
to sustain that speed.
mm-hmm.
Like, same thing with skiing, same thing with everything else. Like, I don't jump off things with minimal force because I know if I short it, it's going to be worse.
Yep.
And I'd
Speed's your
rather-
friend in some respects.
In a lot of respects, keep you alive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when those sketch balls moments when you're skiing and you're like, you redeem yourself, those are the type of moments where you're just like, man, I'm glad I'm a strong skier.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and the same thing with biking. Occasionally I find myself fucking completely like skidded out, like
Oh yeah.
still on my bike. I'm like, and barely redeeming myself in time not to fucking like eat it.
Yeah, it's amazing how much that'll save your ass. I've been in so many situations. You're just like, oh god, it's over, and then suddenly that kicks in, and you're just like, thank
Right?
you.
And it didn't hit tree. Oh, that was scary. No, I live for those moments.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, let's turn this down.
Yeah, sounds
Thanks
good.
for coming by. And
For sure, dude.
fuck
My
yeah.
pleasure. It was
and
awesome.
like, we'll do this again.
Cool.
We'll do this as I want to do a post ride talk because I think, and not every ride, but I think I'm only going to end on this note. Post ride, being in the moment, that mindset is a great way to have a fucking conversation.
Oh yeah.
So.
Still into it. Oh,
Right,
yeah.
you're fucking ready still.
Yeah,
Like, have
definitely.
a beer, to have a little bit of liquor in you. You're like feeling kind of loose. All right.
Heck yeah.
Well, that being said, thanks,
Sweet.
man.
Thank you.